Hi everyone, so it's the first week of December and I thought that it would be really fun to get into the glamorous party spirit for the holiday season with a very decadent, I think this is like a Hollywood glamour style arrangement. So I'm donning like my most exciting dress and we have some gold dipped eucalyptus, which is really fun. So actually our farmers, Milano growers, which are in San Diego, they are actually doing this on site. So it's a great way for them to they have a lot of greens available this time of year because it's pretty low, it's a low flower season because obviously we're coming into winter, we are in winter, and there's much less available from a flower standpoint. So what they tend to do is to look at all of their greenery and try and find ways to make it more interesting, more relevant, more seasonal, more fun, and they can charge a premium for doing that too. So they are gold dipping baby eucalyptus, which I think is great because it has like a great color tone, great texture, and also it'll last for ages. So you can add small pieces of this into a table garland for your holiday table. You can keep repurposing it into other arrangements through the winter season. So that's this one. Then we also have another kind of fancy fun thing is we have pampas grass, which obviously you'll see a lot of in and around the Bay Area in Northern California overall. It is actually an invasive weed and the seeds contain like small, the feathery plumes contain small seeds that when it's windy can blow away. So this has actually been treated and bleached and all of the seeds have been removed, but it keeps its like feathery texture, and that's important because even if you were to cut a piece of pampas grass from the side of the street and use it in an arrangement, if the seeds haven't been treated, then when the wind blows, it will blow everywhere. And that's why when you shake it, like when you pick those ones and you shake it, they all of the seeds wisp everywhere. This obviously doesn't. So basically they blow everywhere, and then what happens is they just repollinate in other places, and that's why it's spreading to a point where it's actually completely out of control. So we really promote pulling it out of the ground, like cutting it down, giving our farmers an incentive to get rid of it. So that's why it's great to buy it. But obviously we then treat it to make sure that it isn't going to spread anywhere else. Then we have some floral elements. So we have some carnations, some quicksand rose, and another Chilean peony. And we have some thistle that again has been dried and sprayed. Be careful with this because it's super prickly at the top. So just be careful when you're handling this, you'll notice that straight away. And then some statice too, and this comes from Santa Cruz in the mountains. That's where the white statice grows. So you'll notice I have a different vase this week. So I'm actually using a vase that I can't remember if you remember our Ikebana arrangement, but this was the vase that we kind of promoted from that arrangement. And I love it because it's obviously got like quite a narrow neck and it's much taller. So it helps to create like a great amount of presence, and it helps to keep the arrangement like locked in, given that there's not a huge amount of greenery in this box. So what we're going to start and do first is you do want to make sure you just strip off any of the eucalyptus leaves that are going to fall below the water line, because I am using quite a narrow vase. It's important that the inside is as clean as possible, because otherwise we're going to struggle for space. And then it's really up to you like where you put them. You can do what we typically do, which is kind of use it to create like a perimeter around the vase itself, or you can kind of group them together. It is entirely up to you. I just love the color of this and the texture, and you obviously still get a bit of its natural fragrance, eucalyptus fragrance oil. So if you get any of that on your fingers, the best way to get rid of it is hand sanitizer. So the pampas grass, you're gonna see that it's probably gonna work well on one side or the other. I'm actually gonna have it on this side. One thing about this is that this obviously, because it has been treated and bleached, you can reuse it into other arrangements. It is quite important that you want it to like blend within the base of the arrangement. So if you keep it tall, it's just going to sit up too high because it is naturally a lot taller. So you just kind of want to slot it inside the greenery like that. So the thistle, again, this is dried too, so you can cut this down and add it inside. Again, it's up to you. You can put it on the right side, the left side. They tend to have like an interesting shape, so I think I'm gonna leave mine there. It looks quite pretty. But you can see we're layering the back of the vase at the moment, so we're just playing a lot with height and depth and shape to create like a really cool looking shape, which I want to be able to put on my coffee table to have like great presence throughout the week. So then we're going to add in the floral elements. So my peony is just starting to open, so you'll notice that the petals on this variety like fold inside out. That's normal. So remember, like every variety of peony is a little bit different in that respect. Pull the leaves from the stem of this, and then I'm gonna have it kind of rest above the nape of the vase. And then with my roses, and these are quicksand roses, so you will have to pull off the outer petals, any that are curling or browning, and then just blow into the middle. And then remove any leaves from the stems of these. These are going to open up. This is obviously a lot more open. When you get them, they're going to be very tight like this. That's just the nature and the fact that we want them to kind of bloom with you. But the cool thing about these roses, and if you've had any of our previous boxes, you'll realize that they really hold for ages. I mean, like they should last at least a week, ideally longer. I mean, I tend to get around 2 weeks out of mine. So if you recut the ends of them, because they do naturally seal up over time, if you just redo that every couple of days, it triggers them to keep absorbing water, and then they will really last. So I'm actually, before I add in my carnations, I'm going to add in some statice, and that's just because this arrangement doesn't have a lot of greenery, and it's nice with the carnations to kind of use them at different heights, but to do that, because they're quite thin in their stems, it's quite important that we need something to kind of fill out the arrangement a little bit more. I think the statice works well to do that. Keep adding it in anywhere you want, really. Put a piece there. No piece is a bad piece. This is moved forward a bit. I'm gonna just move it back there. So yeah, do feel free that adding the statice in will allow you to play around a bit more with the positioning of all your floral elements, because like I said, it just gives a little bit more structure and shape. And I'm going to kind of maybe add a little bit front there, here. And then with the carnations, again, when yours arrive, they're going to look more like this, and over time you can fold the petals back. It's a bit tedious, but it just helps to open them out. They will naturally open out on their own. You know, and carnations, they last for ages. So these will still be going strong in like 3 weeks time. So you can just add them in and then keep reusing them over the course of the next couple of weeks, which is nice. And that's one of the things I love about this arrangement, is that there's a lot of this that you can take and apply to other arrangements over the rest of the month, which is really pretty for the holiday season, I think. There we go. And there we go. Some Hollywood glam to kick off December. Here's to having lots of fun this year, and I hope you love it.